Hi everybody, this is Justin Maas and I'd like to welcome you to my series of drawing a portrait on toned tan mixed media paper. This is video 3 of 3 and today we get into the real fun stuff of me actually drawing the portrait. I start off by just blocking everything in, right? You can see how I lay down lines. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong, but I'm able to look and identify certain areas and compare each to the other, right? And that allows you to see I erased an area there. It allows you to kind of work general to specific, which really is the best way to freehand anything, right? I start darkening lines that I know are right. And I think I probably erase some other ones. We'll see how it goes. Here I add in the white, which is sort of my second stage once I've got things pretty much where I want them to be. Picking up highlights, and you can see in the photo there's just a hint of some highlights, but I'm able to pick them up, right? I think I realize here that the line's a bit dark, so I've erased some of the stuff down the middle just because the white won't necessarily go over it as well. And again, now even a little bit darker in certain areas, right? You can notice how even with the same pencil, I'm varying the amount of darkness, right? I've just switched it up. I wanted the different angle now that we've got in the main areas. And you can see how with the same pencil, I'm able to use a different amount of pressure, and that allows me to really bring in the volume, right? So just starting to lay in those shadows, those dark shadows. Um, and the nice thing, and I explained it in an earlier video, this paper allows charcoal and graphite to work together really nicely, which is something that is quite uncommon. But they can actually be layered over one another, which is really a nice thing. You can see again starting to build up form. I spend a lot of time in the early stages on the key features, right? The eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I don't worry too much about the hair and stuff. I mean, I know it's in the right place. Um, but a portrait is all about those three features. Here I start laying in the hair. This is with a woodless pencil that I explained in video 2. Really nice, a lot easier than working with just a straight up graphite, right? Again, laying down more hair and constantly checking each other. There's the Conte that I talked about in video 2, right? Notice how I switch my hand position. A lot of times with the hair, I will actually put this in my lap, which obviously I couldn't do in the video. But if at all possible, I love to go my strokes of my pencil to go the same direction as the light and the form, right? So, you know, being able to turn your paper around, flip it around, what have you, is certainly helpful, right? Here I'm using a tortillon over top of it, right, to really make that dark quite dark. And here I'm using that kneaded eraser, right, just actually drawing into the hair with the eraser, right, which I can then go back over with some white or what have you to bring in highlights, right. I realize that there's an issue with the chin or the jawline there, so I erased that. And really that's what drawing is all about, right? Is finding your errors and fixing them and making relations between different things, right? You see it coming together. I decided to put a choker in, although not quite as ornate as what it is in the photo. I liked how it looked, but I thought for this sketch it might be a little bit too distracting. And then yeah, go back in and continue to work on certain areas. But I mean, this is, you know, pretty much 70–80% done now, and you can kind of really get a sense of where I'm going. And so you see each time I go back over an area, I'm able to add a little bit more darkness. And here I add white charcoal into the area in the hair that we had erased with the kneaded eraser. And as mentioned, I just continue to build up. With this paper, that's really never a concern, right? You can go dark over dark over dark. And I think the drawing's coming together quite nicely now. And I hope that it was useful for you guys. And thanks for coming along for the ride.